Mic check, mic check. All right. So this is gonna be a little test run here. Just want to give this a go. Long form video, just me talking, going through the workout, just going through a warm up, from warm up to the finish of the workout. Well, let's see how this goes. This is kind of a test run. Just post this onto YouTube, and then see where we can build from here. I was supposed to go to the track, but it was closed. The track was flooded, so they had it closed off due to some of the rains over the weekend and such. What are you gonna do? Luckily, I got this in my backyard. We got the beach here. Even though the sand isn't the same as running on the track or even the football field, different surface, different environment, it still could be useful in terms of your training program. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna treat this like an off-season workout here, or more cross training. Obviously, you don't want to be using the sand in season. You want to be as specific as possible. But in the off season, it could be good. Your body recover from the wear and tear of the season and such. This could be something that you may want to look into in your program. If you got access to a beach, get in the sand. Obviously, it's going to be a different environment here. So you're going to spend more time on the ground than you typically would on a harder surface or even grass. So it's going to be a little bit more time under tension, is one way you can kind of look at it. I wouldn't recommend this in season or even close to preseason. Probably want to do this a little bit more off season to give your training a little bit more variability, and then also kind of the monotony of a long training calendar. Right now I'm just going through just basic dynamic stretches, warm-ups, just get loose a little bit. Body's been kind of stiff from just chilling out over the weekend, trying to recover. I've been going through some stuff here and there, being 40 years old, which is, man, all the time came knocking, finally. Feeling that take its toll on the body, little by little. So, got to take care of the body. Recovery time is a little bit more, takes a little bit longer. We want to just be mindful of where you're at in your journey, and then take it from there. I'm just going to continue to go through a couple more stretches. Map this out. So where I have the camera set, from there to here is about 100 feet. That'd be roughly 30 meters. I'm going to do a little warm-up build, and then I'm going to do some series of accelerations going from the start to the net. So that'll be roughly kind of the workout for the day. 30 meters would be good for a shorter distance. You want to think basketball players would benefit from 30 meters, 20 meters even. Want to make sure that as an athlete, you're working on your weaknesses. If you're good in the middle distance, maybe you want to do something with more power qualities. If you're doing a short distance, depends on who you ask. You probably don't want to do too much of a long distance or at all. Probably don't need that. It's not necessary. I'm just gonna do skips thing though. You're working out over the years, building your fitness. Your body starts to become more familiar with some of the movement patterns. Although you might experience some joint stiffness, as I was saying, you start to develop better exercise economy. The way you use energy is going to be different. You'll be more efficient with how you use your energy from exercise to exercise, or workout to workout. When you think about getting older, it's declining. It's keeping in mind like where you started, everything, every single workout, every single exercise rep set you put in, that's still going to yield better results in the future, because all of that is steps in the adaptive process. You want to keep in mind this is going to be for longevity, and if you're an athlete or you're just a weekend warrior, this still is going to be, just want to make sure the camera's still on. Even with my warm-ups personally, I used to take a long time, do a lot of foam rolling, but my warm-ups definitely a lot shorter than what they used to be. I think it's just more familiar with how the body is operating day to day, being a little bit more in tune with kind of various stressors and your ability to recover from day to day, workout to workout, checking your sleep the night before, fueling up properly. So keeping an eye on your body comp definitely can impact your workout. Objective reasoning as to how you may perceive each workout. Wherever you're at, just want to give it some time. Be patient with the process, embrace it, because that's still going to pay off. That you're doing your due diligence. Because going off on tangent, look at LeBron, 22 years in, greatest of all time. That's not by accident. All right, enough rambling. I'm gonna slowly build up here, start to ramp up the intensity little by little. We'll get to maybe like a 4 to 5 by 30. We're gonna do about maybe a 1 to 2 rest ratio here, depending on the intensity, depending on how it feels, hammies, all that things firing. All right, here we go. Go with 2-point stance, and then gotta get used to running on the sand versus the concrete, hard surface, grass. It's definitely a different feeling, and also how your ability to apply force, ground contact time. Typically, you want to have short ground contact, force game as quickly. All right, not bad, not bad. Still having trouble. My left hip, not really fully extending there. I've had flat feet my entire life. My triple extension is not really happening. But needless to say, I've been working on it and trying to get better, just improving how I'm able to force. You might be thinking, especially if you're in the Northeast, well, I got this sweatshirt on, freaking beanie on. I'm on the beach, only in California. Weather's only like 60 degrees right now, low 60s. Really cool. This will probably come off at some point, but I'm just working my way up. Probably get one more warm up in here. Almost ran into that. Gotta pull up a little earlier, make sure the mic's still on. At least it's a nice day out. The past few days has been a little gloomy. Some rain. Now I'm gonna take about a couple minutes before we get the work set. First rep in. When we're training for speed, just applying those vertical forces that's gonna translate. Wait, let me rewind. How sprinting can benefit you in your sport, even if it's basketball. Applying vertical forces is still a stimulus that you want to have some exercise-induced kind of stimuli that's going to transfer. You do want to be as specific as possible when it comes to your sport, your skill, movement skill in your sport, but you want to make sure that your recruitment patterns, how well you're able to use your fast twitch, turn that on and get that firing, and to shift gears so much. The more efficient that you are with your recruitment patterns, that's going to be how you apply force in a timely manner respective to the task. That was a wordy explanation of how sprinting has qualities, physical qualities that would carry over to basketball or any other given sport, really. You want to be able to apply high forces in a short amount of time, and that's exactly what sprinting does. And that's any other sport that's anaerobic in nature, twitchy. You want those twitches to summate and eventually fuse, where that's going to be kind of your optimal recruitment. My working understanding of literature on that definitely needs to be refined and worked through, but explaining all this, also just trying to get some sprints in, not used to be honest. This will take some getting used to. All right, so we get the first rep in here. Probably go like 65 to 70% here effort. Still feeling a little stiff in the trunk. Not as getting much rotation as I would like. Not as much extension of the ribs. I want to keep that upright torso. Stay a little bit more relaxed through the body here. I gotta keep that in mind. Is anyone counting there? Seconds. I'll give myself about maybe a minute, maybe a little longer. Let's say that was in maybe a 5-6, but context specific on the sand here. First rep. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better on the next couple. I always want to think about specificity too. If you're trying to get better at, for example, jump. But again, what I touched on earlier, recruitment patterns and also the firing rate, how quickly you're able to fire, those motor units in the body, and those physical qualities based on constraints, whether it's your environment, time. This is something where I'm still learning. I'm still a student. I'm still just trying to figure all this out, but based on kind of some of the things that I learned, hopefully I'm able to use this as kind of like a way to, it's almost like a class, because come on, life's too short for that. All right, here we go. Better, you can't really tell. I go back and look at the video. That's another thing. The whole process, we're serious about getting things done, getting the job done, winning championships, all that good stuff. Where am I? 20 minutes in. Just a couple more reps. Wild here. But as I was about to talk on was the whole process. I want to not take things too lightly. It's important for you to reach your goals and help your team win, or individual sport. You want to be able to be at the top, but at the same time, it's going to take a toll on the body. Being 40 now, can't help but do a little looking back and reflecting and thinking about, okay, maybe I should have done this a little differently. I didn't have to self so much. All that to say is get into life lessons or anything like that, but that's probably where the phase I'm at right now. All right, what do we got? Let's go on to the next one. Too much rambling. All right, a little bit closer. So I'm a little stiff in the trunk. Last time I did sprints, it's been a while. Everything's not firing, or I'm not getting the number of things firing here like I should. Typically at max speed is going to detrain plus or minus 5 days or so, or higher frequency with training speed. Some coaches out there believe you can microdose speed qualities even into your warm-ups. Having certain, trying to think of a metaphor or analogy or something, but I won't get into that too much. But you just want to have the ability to turn things on, turn off. The more that you train these physical qualities, max speed, max strength, endurance, things like that. I think it was Vladimir, he might be the one that time period for physical qualities. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But here, I'm just going to get this last rep in, finish things up here, and we get into our extensive plyos. Keep this workout laughing. I should do some stuff over here. Work on my vert. All right, that's gonna be a last rep. Keep it moderate for today. My volume for sprinting probably not gonna be super high. I'll try to spread that out across the week. I'm not gonna be competing anytime soon or ever, so that's just gonna be something that this is just kind of maintenance. Also, being able to teach this to any athletes that I coach, it's important to be able to demonstrate what you're talking about for my own well-being as well. All right, so let's just take a little short break here and then getting some extensive plyos here, a little bit of change direction, some bounding with a little vector change here. Just changing direction, being able to cut, be able to have a little bit more maneuverability, because or one of those events, track and field. But everything else is going to be some degree of changing direction. We'll work on a little bit of that. I think that's important, especially if you're in off season. We're going to treat this like an off season workout on the sand. You want to keep the mind completely offload the work that you put in off season, even though it might be a little bit more general cross training. You still want to be able to train. Your sport involves a lot of lateral movement, rotation, making sure you move in all directions is going to be important from a recruitment standpoint, timing, coordination, to even structurally, especially at the feet, hips, angular forces. All right, enough talking. Let me just do some bounding here. Just gonna do extensive alternate bounds here. So that was bad. I'm just thinking way too much on these. Let's see. All right, let's try this again. Go in the same direction. All right, not bad. Still need some work. With these lower intensity, your power movements, higher intensity work, because there will be just a waste of your time. The workout will also, as a whole, the workout will start just the work that's being done. Because if you're an athlete, I got time today. But other resources, you want to be mindful of that. I'm just kind of going through a little demo, but in your circumstance, likely there's going to be some constraints. You want to go the same direction. All right, I'm just going to go right into the next rep, the other side. I don't want to waste too much more time. I like to keep my workouts. All right, do that one more time. What I'm doing is going every 3. I'll just, or every 3rd contact, I'll change directions. This side is going to be strike with the right, and a turn, same thing. Whichever direction I'm going, then change again. So we go right, there we go. Sounds like I'm straining. We'll keep that rest short. This is kind of like this would be one of those plyo speed work, could be skill work, working this in wherever your schedule permits. If you can't fit this in, you can't get it in off day where you weight train. Maybe you could do that in some open space in the weight room, in the gym, but you still want developing your stretch shortening cycles. But that ability to relax is key. Most people know how to tense up, contract pretty aggressively, but you also want to be able to relax, turn that over, and amortize. And that's going to be the key to any movement expression, especially in your sport. All right, enough babbling. Let me get this rep here. I'm just gonna go right, and then I'm gonna go left. I'm just gonna go back and forth here. All right, and then I'm just gonna come back, going left, and then I'm gonna go right again. All right, going left. That'll be good for that for now. Roughly 9 to 3 rounds. I think 3 rounds or 4. 3, we're talking 27, 36 extensives there, in addition to my accelerations. That's pretty much, I'm just gonna wrap it up there because I still gotta get a weight training session in. Hopefully that goes well. I'll try to document or record as much of that as possible. That way I could touch on that, but thanks for tuning in.